In 2026, the restaurant industry is under immense pressure to reduce waste as food inflation hits record highs. While soup is often viewed as a comforting, healthy option, it has become the ultimate recovery tool for kitchens looking to salvage aging ingredients. Because soups are liquid-based, heavily seasoned, and simmered for hours, they provide the perfect camouflage for wilted vegetables, trimmings from expiring proteins, and leftover prep from the previous day's service. While most establishments follow safety protocols, the shocking truth is that soup is frequently treated as a catch-all for inventory that can no longer be served as a standalone dish. From high-sodium preservatives used in chain restaurants to the perpetual pot mentality in some bistros, the soup of the day is often an inventory exit strategy rather than a fresh creation. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. Here is a list of soups that should be avoided at all cost. You will be surprised to know about the third one. 1. Why the soup of the day is an inventory dump. In many mid-tier American restaurants, the soup of the day isn't a chef's inspiration. It is a calculated effort to clear the walk-in cooler. If the kitchen ordered too much salmon on Monday, you can bet Friday's special is a salmon chowder. This tactic allows restaurants to repurpose offcuts and trimmings that are near their expiration date. The intense simmering process masks the toughened texture of older meat, while heavy cream or tomato bases hide the dull colors of oxidizing vegetables. In 2026, as restaurants fight for every penny, the soup pot serves as a magic eraser for inventory mistakes. If a special features an ingredient that was a main dish 2 nights prior, there is a high probability you are eating repurposed leftovers. 2. Why Panera Bread Preservative Pouch System. Panera has long been a staple for soup lovers, but the shocking truth lies in its centralized production. Most Panera soups arrive at the location in frozen, plastic mush bags that are then thawed in a thermalizer, a hot water bath. While this ensures consistency, it also means the soup is highly processed and loaded with sodium to maintain flavor throughout the freezing and thawing cycle. In 2026, health-conscious diners are increasingly wary of the plastic leaching risks associated with heating food in industrial bags. Despite the clean food marketing, you aren't getting a soup made from scratch by a local chef. You are getting a factory-made product that has been sitting in a warehouse long before it reached your sourdough bowl. 3. Why Olive Garden, the sodium bomb. Olive Garden's unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks are a cornerstone of American casual dining, but the nutritional cost is brutal. Their most popular soups, like the zuppa toscana and pasta e fagioli, are notorious for having sodium levels that exceed 1,000 milligrams per serving. In 2026, as cardiovascular health awareness rises, these sodium bombs are being scrutinized for their role in systemic inflammation. Because these soups are produced in massive batches, they rely on high salt content and heavy fats to maintain a consistent taste profile over several hours of sitting on a steam table. For many diners, a light lunch of 2 bowls of soup can actually exceed the total daily recommended sodium intake in a single sitting. 4. Why Applebee's microwave dependency. Applebee's and similar neighborhood grills often rely on prepackaged, frozen soups that are portioned out and reheated on demand. The kitchen in these establishments is often less about cooking and more about assembly. The soup you order is frequently microwaved or kept in a steam well for an entire shift, leading to a breakdown of the ingredients. By the time it reaches your table, the vegetables have lost their cellular structure, and the nutrients have been largely degraded by prolonged heat exposure. In 2026, the value proposition of paying $8 for a bowl of soup that was essentially nuked in a plastic container is becoming harder for consumers to justify, especially when compared to fresh alternatives. 5. Why buffet-style soups? The bacteria danger. Buffets, like those found at Golden Corral or local Chinese eateries, present a unique safety risk. Soup kettles at buffets are often the most contaminated areas due to communal dipping and inconsistent temperature control. In 2026, Health inspectors frequently cite buffet soups for falling into the danger zone, between 5 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius, where bacteria like Bacillus cereus can thrive. Because the soup is constantly being topped off with new liquid mixed into the old, the bottom of the pot can contain remnants that have been sitting out for hours. The high humidity around the steam table also makes it a breeding ground for cross-contamination from other diners' ladles, making it one of the highest-risk items on the line. 6. Why Cheesecake Factory? Caloric overload. The Cheesecake Factory is famous for its massive menu, but its soups are hidden caloric traps. Many of their cream-based soups can pack as many calories as a full entree, often exceeding 500 to 700 calories for a single bowl. These soups are designed for maximum mouthfeel, achieved through heavy amounts of butter, flour-based thickeners, and high-fat creams. In 2026, as more Americans track their metabolic health, these liquid meals are being exposed for their lack of satiety. Because they are low in fiber but extremely high in refined fats and starches, they trigger a massive insulin spike without making you feel full, leading many diners to overeat their actual entree afterward. 7. Why high-end bistros? The perpetual pot. Some independent bistros and farm-to-table spots utilize a perpetual pot, or mother stock method, where the soup base is never fully discarded but constantly replenished with new ingredients. While this sounds artisanal, it is a nightmare for food safety in 2026. Without proper flash chilling and complete vessel cleaning, these pots can harbor spores that survive the boiling process. Furthermore, these kitchens often use the trimmings from expensive steaks and seafood, pieces that have been sitting on the prep line for hours, to flavor the stock. The resulting soup is a concentrated liquid of every ingredient that wasn't good enough to serve on a plate, often leading to a muddled flavor and potential digestive distress. 8. Why P.F. Chang's? The MSG and sugar surge. While P.F. Chang's is often viewed as a step up in quality, their soups, specifically the hot and sour and egg drop, are often loaded with hidden sugars and cornstarch thickeners. In 2026, the syrupy consistency of these soups is a red flag for high glycemic loads. To achieve that signature Chinese-American flavor profile, these soups use high concentrations of yeast extract, a form of MSG, and refined sugars to balance the vinegar. While delicious, the shocking truth is that these soups can cause significant water retention and blood sugar spikes. For those with sensitivities, the combination of high sodium and concentrated additives makes these soups a primary cause of the fast food fog many feel after dining out. The evolution of the restaurant industry in 2026 has made soup a high-margin, low-quality item for many establishments. While it can be a nutritious choice, the lack of transparency in how it is prepared and what scraps go into the pot makes it a risky bet for the health-conscious diner. In 2026, the humble soup bowl has become the ultimate litmus test for a restaurant's culinary integrity. As we have seen, the shocking truth is that many establishments treat their soup pots as a financial safety net, a place where fading ingredients, excessive sodium, and industrial additives coalesce under the guise of comfort food. In an era where food costs are scrutinized more than ever, the transition from a fresh, nutrient-dense soup to a repurposed inventory strategy is a tempting shortcut for many kitchens. For the consumer, this means that the healthiest-looking item on the menu can often be a metabolic minefield of hidden sugars, inflammatory oils, and bacterial risks. Ultimately, your best defense is a healthy dose of skepticism and a discerning eye. Fresh soup should have visible, distinct textures and a clean, aromatic profile that isn't dominated by salt or heavy thickening agents. Moving forward, the most successful diners will be those who prioritize transparency over convenience, opting for kitchens that cook with fresh, primary ingredients rather than those that rely on the magic of a slow-simmered cover-up. Choosing to avoid these 8 common soup traps isn't just about avoiding a bad meal. It's about demanding a standard of quality that respects both your health and your wallet in an increasingly complex food landscape.